I just watched the gaming historian did the history of Super Mario Kart. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was like an hour, and somebody in our Discord was like, "Yeah, I like it, but I wish he would say it in like 20 minutes." I kind of like the chill hour long gaming historian.
It's like a PBS documentary. Yeah, you go in and out. You wash some dishes as I do.
Perfect.
And you hang, you chill, and you let his dulcet tones go over you, and he gets like stock music with transitions and
do 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 do.
Yeah, and he sources a lot of clips. It's great.
Yeah, he does a nice job over there. They do a nice job over there at the historian. And he but I thought the thing that was most compelling about it was the way that the developers were kind of discovering, like, well, because I've sometimes thought about that with racing games where I'm like, they run a real risk of all you're doing is pressing left and right to go around corners or go up and down hills. And you're like, so what would make this thing fun? And not every racing game it's appropriate to have items, but it made a lot of sense when they kind of cracked the code of like items are kind of central to the Mario Kart experience. It's what's going to be the equalizer in the race. It's what's going to make the races close. We kind of want the races to be close without like completely rigging the race, but we have to rig them a little bit with things like blue shells. Drifting, so if you're more of a skilled driver, you can get some more speed. You're just kind of like figuring out all those things that will make it fun. And again, like provide a sense of suspense. And that's what they've always done. I had Matt over last weekend. We went to shoot something with John. John was feeling like real sick. Like John was in rough shape. Yeah, he's like, well, he had like a cold when we shot with him and like, he hasn't gotten over it. I don't know. It's weird, but I told him, I'm like, watch out for pneumonia, man. Because I had it one time, like when it wouldn't go away. And like a cold not going away might mean something.
Yes.
It did for me. But anyway, so Matt came over and Gloria wanted to she just wanted to play the endings of like Galaxy, 64 and Odyssey. And you can tell like Matt like doesn't want to skip through the cutscenes. Like he wants to, and we played 3D Worlds co-op for a minute. And this dude doesn't want to he does not want to go straight through the level. He wants to like look under every tree. He wants to read every word of every text box. He's interested in like what he's like, well, I want to know what the story is so it makes sense later.
It's like
there's no sense of urgency with him. Whereas I'm like, God has
task oriented.
God has given us 30 minutes to play video games. Are we going to use it? Like, how are we going to use it?
We're going to accomplish things. God damn it.
Right. We are here to jizz.
Well, speaking of items in Mario Kart, they just added a feature to Mario Kart 8 where you can turn off certain items.
Oh, is that right? I thought you were going to say the booster course thing from yesterday, right? I haven't installed it yet.
Yeah, they did the booster course, but there was a new feature. It's like in Smash Brothers where you can turn off certain items. So you could turn off like the blue shell if you wanted. You could turn off certain things.
That's cool.
It's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know. And Mario Kart without items is kind of lame, but sometimes you don't want lightning bolts. Lightning bolts freaking suck.
I just find it really interesting and awesome that they they're just going to keep iterating on the same game, basically.
My son tried to play the arcade version of Mario Kart. He can't do it.
He doesn't like it or what?
Yeah, it's just like it's an arcade game, so it's a little more unforgiving. Like he always gets turned around and stuff. But
are you playing it at an actual arcade or at home?
Yeah, at the arcade.
Got it.
But the one at home he can play just fine. He likes that one. He's like, how come? He's like, why are we playing this one? We can go home and play the good one.
She loves the Mario Kart DX or whatever it's called, the arcade one. That's at Dave & Buster's. And the last couple of times we went to Dave & Buster's, it was like she only did Mario Kart. I got a comment the other day on our Black Friday video where they were like, we never went to Dave & Buster's. Only rich kids went to Dave & Buster's. And I was like, look, I get what, like, a family that is hard up for money wouldn't go to Dave & Buster's every weekend or anything. But like when we go, we spend like $20. Like it's not a tremendous amount of money. Like you can get a lot of games for $20 with a 5-year-old.
Yeah. And when I go to Dave and Buster's, I'm not surrounded by the aristocracy or anything.
yeah. The hoi polloi.
They're not wearing top hats and monocles in Dave and Buster's. I can tell you, there's some salt of the earth people there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel every time. I thought it was a strange comment, but I was like,
you go into Dave and Buster's and it's fucking Downton Abbey.
Very old, posh lady, and
the Dowager Countess is playing like DDR next to you.
Yeah. Anything else to say about that Mario Kart video? I enjoy that dude's documentaries.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Solid YouTube.
That's solid YouTube.
He figured it out.
It seems like we get a lot of comments kind of echoing or agreeing with our general sentiment that like this long form, put it on in the background type stuff. It's like that's the new entertainment, really.
Yeah.
Like everybody seems to prefer long form videos that they mostly listen to, but sometimes glance at. Because it's not, at least from my point of view, and I'd be curious if people agree. It's better than an audio podcast. Just having the option to glance at the video on occasion is what makes me choose a YouTube video over a podcast a lot of the time.
Yeah, because if they're talking about the game, you can glance over, you see what they're talking about, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
and then you can glance back at whatever you're doing.
Yeah, it's strange, and so long form means like you can pick it up, you can put it down. Yeah, we've talked about it many times, but like I prefer this experience over certainly like some narrative thing that I got to watch closely. It seems that's a trend. Will eventually like it'd be interesting to somehow in a metrics based way know just how many hours is YouTube taken away from like Disney Plus and from Paramount Plus.
Yeah. And I did speculate that it might even be taking talent away from those because, really talented people might make a great YouTube channel and not go make like the gaming historian's not going to go to like PBS to make a documentary,
Right.
He's going to stay right where he is.
Yeah.
He's going to be his own boss.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.